All right, looks we got breaking news. So looks like everything that we have talked about DeWanner Barner, her absence from the Indiana Fever, seems like it's becoming true. After all, after days missing up to 5 games, she's out today for tonight's game. So Ann Costabile, who writes for the column of used to be for Chicago, but she writes for Front Office Sports now, put out an article today, and this what the article reads right within itself, and something that we all alluded to, but we wasn't sure, and hoping today we had got our answer. So, Annie Costabile said, according to multiple sources, the Indiana Fever and DeWanner Barner are heading for a breakup. More on what options the Fever have and where Barner could end up. Now, if you read the article, then you'll get a general idea what's been going on. It seemed like maybe DeWanna Bonner was when she first signed with the Fever for over 200 grand. She wanted to be with the Fever. I do believe there's something between her and Natasha Howard that's kind of making a rift for her to want out because Natasha Howard has unfollowed her. And Natasha Howard has not been. To me, I rather had DeWanna Bonner than Natasha Howard because you could have used Sophie Cunningham in that lineup to make that team run a little bit better. I don't think DeWanna Bonner visioned herself coming there, and maybe the Sig Holston thing could have been another issue. Maybe the Kelsey Mitchell thing could have been another issue. The style of play, how they are, and hoping that the pieces would have been a little bit fluenter, which we have seen that is not. So, and we all know that DeWanna Bonner started 3 games for the Fever, but then was moved to the bench, and Lexi Hall took her spot. To me, I would have put Hall, then I would have put Bonner, and then you would have had that combination in the starting lineup a little bit better. So, the article for Front Office Sports reads, the Warner Bonner days with the Indiana Fever could be coming to an end. According to multiple sources, the two-time WNBA champion has no interest in returning to play for the Fever. Those sources, those same sources indicate Bonner preferred landing spots are the Phoenix Mercury and the Atlanta Dream. Well, now her agent Mike Cound, he has no comment regarding the situation with the Fever. And like I stated before, Varner signed in February to a 1 year unprotected contract value of 200,000. She was one of the biggest free agents pickups during the blockbuster season during free agency. She's a 3 time WNBA champion. Natasha Howard was a 2 time champion. Sid Colson and re-signing 2 time All-Star Kelsey Mitchell. Bonner started 3 games for the Fever to open the season, but before she was benched in favor for shooting guard Lexi Hall. After 6 games coming off the bench, Bonner was ruled out by the Fever due to personal reasons. The 6 time All-Star was averaging 7.1 points, 3.8 rebounds, 1.6 assists in 9 games she played before her absence. She had 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in her last game, which was June 10th, when they played against the Dream. Now, multiple sources told Front Office Sports that the fit in Indiana was off from the beginning. Bonner, who was signed to be an anchor with the championship experience for the team young core, was expected to be a starter. Now, like I said, I do believe there's something there between Bonner and Howard. I don't think it's so much dealing with Caitlin, Aaliyah, Kelsey, and all of them. But I do think it's something there with Howard that DeWanna Bonner felt easy. If you kind of looked at her, how she was from the beginning to recent games, she was being frustrated, agitated, going after referees and stuff like that. Um, she showed a lack of engagement with, certain players on the team, like a Howard, like a Colston. I don't think she was not too fond of them. And she figured like, well, I come, she was going to be a starter, which we thought she was going to be a starter. We didn't thought that the team was going to go out and get a Natasha Howard who, to me, I'd rather have Bonner's skill set than Howard's skill set. And then you could easily put in keep Lexi Hall as a starter. That team would have probably played a little bit more faster. You could have probably did a little bit different things, but nevertheless, we stuck. Now, what can the Indiana Fever do? To me, the best course of action, but I'm gonna read it to you and then I'll give you my best course of action. Trade or wave. The Fever could be facing a couple of potential scenarios. The first, although unlikely according to multiple sources, is a trade because the Mercury only have 88,000 in cap space according to Sports Track, Spot Track, and the Dream has 23 according to most players with salaries comparing to Bonner will unlikely be off limits in the trade. A package could end up including more than one player to clear up enough space. Now, however, now, however, the more likely scenario, which does little benefit for the Fever, is waiver her. And if you waive her, you're still gonna have to prorate for the time she's been there to pay her that money, and then the rest of that goes to the cap. Then you're gonna have to find players to come in to replace that. Could they do that? Mm. Now, to me personally, I think the Indiana Fever should hold Bonner and find a trade partner for her because get somebody that they could do a three-way trade for multiple players, give Fever two players in return. If she wants to go to Phoenix, then you're gonna have to give us two young players to take them contracts and say, give us a Khalil Copper, say you give us a Satu Sabali, you know what I'm saying? Or give us two of your young stars, rookies, you know what I'm saying? Something in return to get Bonner to take on her contract, you know, because to me personally, I don't think that waiver her is going to be the option because you still going to have to go out and get players that you still might not have enough salary cap to work with. So trading her and adding in pieces, and then you probably could cut somebody like a Bree Turner to bring back Ari McDonald, and then you could have a full roster. You could then you end up with your 12. And then this team's still gonna have Damaris Johnson overseas. So you're gonna have to figure out something to bring um to not give away, not let Barner go for free. I would not let her go for free. I would not let her be waived. And if the Fever were to waive Bonner, the team still have 48 hours. Teams have 48 hours to claim off waivers. If no team does, she will be an unrestricted free agent, and then she could sign for the minimum, which is 78,000, which means the Phoenix Mercury could sign Bonner without making any roster cuts if the Fever was to waive her and clears her 40 hours. So, like I said again, to me personally, I would not waive her. That's gonna be really bad for the Indiana Fever. Keep her out. Find a trade partner. Find a three-way trade partner where you could get a player from another team, get a player from them. You know what I'm saying, and a draft pick in a sense for 2026. You want quality players that could be able to come in and fit that system. You don't want to give her away for nothing and have some player that you don't want, and then you have to cut that player away, that player, and then that player go sign somewhere else and play with them. You want somebody that's going to stick and come in and play under the same system with Caitlin Clark doing. Because right now, if you don't get what you need for this team, then everything is going to be lost. Unfortunately, for DeWanner Bonner, it's sad to say that, hey, maybe the bright lights was too bright for her. Maybe being in Indiana, the pressure was too much for her. Now, Caitlin Clark wanted to win a championship for her because she's an older vet. I don't think she will hold Caitlin Clark responsible for anything. I think, to me, there's something going on between her and some players on that team. And I think it comes down to two people, Sid Colston. It could be three, and I'll use Bree Turner last. But I think number one, Natasha Howard. Number two, Sid Colson. Number three, Bree Turner. That's my three suspects. But I would lean more to number one. I don't think she had any problem with Caitlyn. I don't think she had any problem with Leah, Kelsey, or Lexi Hall because they all got along. You saw them, they took that Sports Illustrated cover earlier. It was doing four in the room. They was doing everything was what? It was her, Leah, Kelsey, and Caitlyn. So therefore, they got along. I think it's the others that's there that's kind of caused friction and jealousy in DeWanner Bonner. Now, like I said before, if the Indiana Fever do want to get something for her, then you have to trade her. You cannot let her walk out the door and just pay her prorated of her salary and then hoping to bring other players in, you know. But we'll see. They will probably have the money. They'll probably have to pay her half of her salary, prorated up, whatever the case might be, how it's going to come out, and then be able to sign some free agents. But me personally, I would trade her. I will hold her enough to trade her and to find a trade partner. And because teams going to say, well, we don't want to trade for her, then they're going to try to force the Fever to waive her so they could get her for little or nothing. But you don't want her to do that. See, the Atlanta Dream can't sign her because they only have 23. Phoenix is the only option because they have 90. I think they have 90, but they could sign her to a vet that cuts their salary cap low, and they don't have to lose nobody. So if the Indiana Fever want to play hardball, this is the time to play hardball. Don't let her walk. What you could do, you could suspend her contract and pick up somebody and not allow her to. Nobody could sign her, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then you could bring somebody else in to fill her spot, and then you could work towards getting your 12th player, and then allow her to go wherever she need to go after the season. I won't let her walk for free though. No, so Bob. I would not let her walk for free. But like again, I said, it's sad, it's unfortunate for DeWanner Bonner, but hey, it's what it is. The Fever still got to play games, and everybody still got to move on. Now we have clear-cut evidence of what's going on with DeWanner Bonner. Now it's time to refocus back to the Fever, and hopefully they can get back winning. All these distractions, sometimes, every, what looks, sometimes things that look good is never good for you. So until then, like, comment, subscribe. This is Live Wire Sports Media. This is your Tuesday takeover edition. Catch me tonight at 9:45 where I will be going live for the Seattle and Indiana game. Until then, you know what it is, because if you don't know, now you know.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This